Hello, everybody. Got the crew file in
Yeah.
here.
Hey,
Welcome, Hyve team. Hello.
finally time. Here we are.
Yeah, it's a big day. Do some intros to kick us off here, but I'm Jack, obviously on the partnerships team at Off-Chain Labs, supporting the gaming ecosystem here. Super pumped today to be joined by the Hyve team, which has been hard at work on a bunch of games, but one in particular that we will be focused on today called Voxel World. So Lucas, I'm not sure if you want to kick things off for us.
Yeah, absolutely. Super excited to be here. Thanks for having us. I'm Lucas Folks, co-founder and CEO of Hyve. We're really focused on building like that vertical stack of gaming in the AI world. But a big part of what we're focused on is just like distribution everywhere. And that's what we'll get to see today in action is like we're launching our game Voxel World, and it'll be natively playable inside Twitter. So super excited to be here and get to see all this come together because it's definitely been a labor of love. Or you want to go next?
Yeah, sure. Good to be here. Good to see you, Jack. So I'm co-founder, CTO of Hyve. I'm excited to see what you guys do here. We've been, working behind scenes. We've got a lot of hardworking engineers working on a lot of really cool stuff. So what you're seeing here is going to be kind of first of its kind. I'm really excited to kind of crack it open and let everybody get their hands on it. So with that, I'll kick it over to Nate real quick, and then we can run with it.
Hey, what's up, guys? Nate, head of marketing. Great to be here. Jack, good to see you again. Thank you for having us. Sorry, I keep looking the other way because I'm about to blow the world with what we got going on. So super excited. Jump right in. So I'll turn it back over to you.
Awesome. Well, I since we started talking, my screen has come up on stage here. For the uninitiated, what you're seeing might be a little bit confusing. So Lucas or somebody on the team, do you guys want to take lead here?
Yeah, I'll jump in here. And also, let's click that play button because it's getting destroyed. So what you're looking at here is the first time ever game natively playing inside the Twitter feed. So these are all people, real networked people actually playing, destroying these cubes. As you find gold and premium cubes, those cubes will actually auto transmit NFTs and ERC20s to your wallet. Yeah, dude, shoot that. That's the best feeling in the world. Oh, look, you got one. Let's go. Nice, you got one right. Very first shot, Jack. Nice.
That was not scripted. I swear.
They're just eating the
yeah, so hit the bottom right green thing for me, Jack, just to minimize it. I want people to see that this is like you are in Twitter right now. No plugin, no additional anything. Like this is just playing natively inside the Twitter feed. And there's currently 80 people playing at the same time.
Oh, he's spamming that cooldown button.
Yeah, we figured people would spam that cooldown, so it's good. Also, if you want to mute the tab, you can right-click the tab and click mute site. That way you don't hear the beep. One fun thing, though, is when a gold cube is clicked, it plays this like alert to everybody. And it's crazy because you'll just watch everybody start looking for gold cubes. It's really cool to see.
What's the best way for me to move my positioning here?
So if you scroll out, you can zoom back, and then when you're back further, if you click the key, hold it with your mouse and then rotate, you'll actually spin around the world pretty quickly.
Yeah, right now we don't support kind of XYZ translation per se. So it's more of like an orbiting view around the world. So in this case, it's the Arbitrum logo. It's kind of thin. So, things on the corners and the edges get a little out of frame. But yeah, I see you in here kind of sniping. As soon as you see some gold, go after it. You're earning some.
Oh, someone froze that cube. Did you see that? So talking about your power-ups on the bottom, you have the bomb you can throw. It's like the broadest impact, but less damage. The rocket launcher is my favorite. It's like everything explodes with that. And then the grenade launcher will actually one hit every single cube. So if you shoot something with the grenade launcher, it'll destroy the very first click. And then the ice bomb on the right will actually freeze the cubes so that other people can't click it.
God, that does feel good.
I love that.
Yeah, the bazooka is definitely OP. So what we've got going on here is definitely a really aggressive go for it. And I think right now, I don't know if you can see there, but we've got, it looks like about 85 people in this world. So right now we've kind of got the world's throttled to about 100 players, but you'll see as if this keeps going, as more users join, we'll have kind of infinite horizontal scale of all of these different worlds. So we have this session open right now. We have a bunch of rewards that I'll let Nate talk to in a second. But, as you guys are chewing away at this world, another one will pop up and you guys will be able to jump into a new one and get new chances at more rewards.
Yeah, it's super exciting.
Yeah, it's crazy to see everyone in just playing, because we've done a couple of tests. We did a test with Tempest Guild a while back, but it's cool to just see it like live open for everybody. So yeah,
it's like a live stream and a live stream because we're watching on X while we.
It's kind of interesting.
I know you might see me like looking off screen. I'm actually looking at my instance and making sure I'm not missing out on any good cubes.
Yeah. I do think that's something to call out though. Like, you can imagine a world where when games are natively playable and Twitter and all the different social platforms, like totally different like experiences can emerge. So like you can imagine that like you could have a siloed world relative to your tweet, and your tweet is the entry portal into that world. So like no one can get to that world unless they follow your link into the game on Twitter. And so it's like, obviously there's just like very, very novel mechanics that have never existed that can start to exist with this. And that's like, we're just scratching the surface here. And I think it's got a lot of wow factor, but we can go 10 layers deeper on this. And I think there's a lot of new stuff that no one's seen that emerges from an experience like this.
Yeah, I'm not being very strategic right now. Oh, also one thing that, as if that's not crazy enough, everyone, Hyve does not stop there. Like what I find most amazing about this platform is that it allows you to launch these games across a bunch of different platforms. So it's not like it's just on X. You could go play this in browser right now. There's other platforms down the road that will become available. So for folks that are looking to manage, are looking to develop a game, see that game made available cross-platform, but also not looking to like walk into a difficult to scale like operation, this is like an amazing tool for any developer.
Yeah, I think so right now we support Telegram, Twitter, and our website, and then Farcaster's close behind. We're trying to add we're going to be everywhere. Like eventually there will be native apps, Discord, you name it, will be there. We have a PWA also, but I think one thing that's really interesting to call out is like, this is just one piece of our tech stack. Like, this is the distribution layer that's very novel, but Hyve's 3 pillars are kind of like our create, our optimize, and our scale. This is scale, like one game distributed everywhere. The create portion will come out here in a couple of weeks. That's the ability to like program AI generate games. So go from a prompt to a full game developed, no coding, no tech experience. And then the optimized side is really like the bread and butter of what I think games are supposed to be, which is like, it's the live ops engine. And so Zynga builds casual games like this. Scopely builds games like this. The thing that, in my experience, separates like the Web 2 giants from the Web 3 people trying to build these games is that the core loop is just like the starting line. The live ops is really the engine of fun. That's the daily challenges, the weekly challenges, the battle passes. And we're also optimizing all that. And so our hope is eventually we'll see some like solopreneurs or some people with some cool IP in crypto build a game that scales to be one of those AAA size studios. And so that's really what we're targeting. This is just piece number 1 of like totally novel distribution no one's ever seen.
Yeah, and one thing I'll add to that is, while we are kind of tackling games and that's our bread and butter, really what this is built for is, to your point, Jack, is distribution, right? We want to be able to solve the pain points of getting on every platform, integrating with those SDKs. Let's say you wanted to run ads, or you wanted some other sort of monetization mechanisms. You'd have to go instrument that for every platform, in number of times. And so, to your point, what we want to do is we want to create that one entry point. You host your game right now, but really this tech stack is built to support any consumer app. So you can see a world in the future where, you're earning rewards here through Voxel. Maybe you're playing other games, but also we've got, maybe an Arbitrum native dApp, right? Where you can do swaps and bridging and that sort of thing. And all of that is native within, the Twitter feed, all from that centralized identity. So I think that's really where we're going. I think is, we don't want to pull eyeballs away from certain platforms. People are going to be where they're going to be. So might as well put your content where they're at and do as much as you can with that in one spot. So,
and I think with that, it's like a good time to talk about our partners with us, because it's exactly what we're doing here. So with the Arbitrum fam, and thanks to Jack for so much help over the last few months in putting this together. We've partnered with ApeChain for a ton. They've been super collaborative. We were just on a space with them before that, and it was great to see their response, and Triumph Games as well. So within the worlds, and I think, sorry, my screen is
yeah, you can go there and you can go
multitasking. We just crushed one world and we're going to the next. I did get one dang. So across the 3 sessions over the next 2 days, we have 60 ApeChain NFTs to give out. You'll see them in these gold boxes, gold cubes, as you can see right there. $6,500 in USDC and 20 NFTs from Triumph, and then thousands of dollars worth of IAP of Hyve games as well that will, you can use now, today, at a future event we'll have. So we're supporting EVM across the board with this, with ApeChain and others that what Triumph is on, and it's great to see, and we're ready to go and keep building with everyone.
Yeah, I think one thing to call out on that is our partners are great. Thanks for setting us up with all of them, Jack. One thing in the ApeChain space we were just on, one of the guys was like, so can you support like any web-based game or Unity game? And I was like, yeah, I think so. He's like, what about Unreal web-based game? And I was like, are there Unreal Engine games? He's like, we have this tiny game called Other Side. So I actually think like we'll just be able to host that directly in Hyve, which is weird because I think we've kind of built a paradigm where it's like any game from anywhere, distributed everywhere, and programmatically optimized. Like that's a pretty like, I've been in a lot of studios, like traditional studios, investing tens of millions in R&D a year. There's really no one that's like scratched the surface of that, even, much less like being able to see all this IP combined. So shout out to the partners and to Arbitrum for putting this together. And I think this is going to be like the first of many for sure.
Amazing. Yeah, no, that's super exciting to hear. I set a timer for this new map because I'm actually pretty curious to see like how long it takes the crew to turn through this. I was amazed. That was really fast.
Yeah. So we were wrestling with this leading up into this event. And so, we'll have 2 more sessions tomorrow. That'll be similar setup to this. And we were wrestling with how many cubes do we put in these worlds? So this is actually the smallest configuration that we came up with. We can scale this probably, I think 5 to 6 to 7x times this size. So we wanted to get, a good bite-sized chunk of the experience, make sure everybody was able to play. We had multiple worlds generated, but we can definitely go larger. And right now, like you're showing here, it's an Arbitrum logo. Obviously, you guys are great partners with us. And so we wanted to give you guys a nod. But, where Voxel can go in the future is if you've got IP, we're going to open up a portal where you can generate your own worlds, right? So you can have an ape as, the world that you're crushing, right? And you can put whatever rewards you want inside of it that maybe lead other people to other games within your ecosystem. So I think the idea is, we really want to open this up to, the creators out there to be able to have their own worlds and have their own experiences. But yeah, this was a small world. So we'll see. I think we estimated, what was it, like 20 minutes?
Yeah, I think we said 20 minutes. It all depends on how people come in and how long they stay. But I think it's about 20 minutes. We also know the time. So I have somebody on the team right now trying to find out how long the last world lasted. One thing that's crazy is we wanted to be kind of cautious here, honestly. There's a lot of unknowns happening here that have like never happened. And so we've limited it to 100 worlds, but 100 people per world. But we've actually tested with up to 500 people playing at once. And that is a madhouse. It's insane. There's orbs everywhere. The cubes are just like, there's just destruction everywhere. So we're limited to 100 now. We'll see how it goes. We might scale that up tomorrow to see what happens. But I can say it's very fun to watch 500 people chip away at a world with bazookas.
I believe it. Yeah, actually, now that you point out the orbs, that's actually pretty useful. I didn't realize that those were player.
Yeah, those are other people. Yeah.
Yeah, that's super helpful. That's what I was thinking, that like it would be useful to know like where people are like kind of focusing.
Yeah, it's cool to see where people are at, where they're looking, and kind of their viewports. And I think one of the things we've been toying around with is, why can't those be skins, right? So why can't you put your own color, your own kind of logo, icon? I think it'd be really cool to see where they're playing from. So maybe a platform icon, maybe a little, snippet of their name. Like we can see Gale Zero here they're in first. I don't know, 400, points, 13 gold. So, it'd be nice to be able to find that person, maybe tag along, maybe think about some sniping issues, some strategies around that for sure.
That is actually a great point though, Corey. One thing I think gets lost on people, because like you jump in this game and you're like, oh, cool, this is a game. But it's worth noting, like there are people like this, you're on Hyve.gg right now. I'm playing from Twitter. We have someone on our team playing from Telegram right now. Everybody's playing in the exact same instance across all the devices. And so like when we say the game distributes everywhere, it doesn't mean like a version of the game exists everywhere. It's the exact same game hosted everywhere. All the networking is the same. The identities are all the same. So like it's really interesting. Like we've kind of built this fabric between all the social platforms where it's like gaming is kind of like ubiquitous now. And I think that's what we're shooting for. And I think we'll keep adding to that as we add more platforms. But I do think that like if we start to show where people are playing from, I think that's another like kind of mind-blowing moment, which is like, how am I cross-playing across totally disconnected platforms that have no relationship? And that's some of the magic of like what Hyve's built.
Absolutely. Yeah, one thing that or like an idea that I started thinking through when you were mentioning like other side is and also just increasing the number of players within a single instance is like team mode, like team matches. Obviously 2v2 would work. It would be funny to see like Apes versus Azuki. But you could also just have like, 10 creators and then their community shows up and like
Exactly.
Those guys are just going nuts at each other.
Yeah, and you can imagine that like you are skinned based off of which tweet you enter the world from. And so like we can do that. Like that's a for sure we can do that, like almost guaranteed. And I think that's crazy. Really just like V1. That's why it's still flagged alpha. Like there's like 10, 20 other novel experiences that come really shortly after this. One game mode we've been thinking about is like tug of war, where there's a circle in the middle, and as you click, you're adding blocks to the other side, and so like you're just pushing it back and forth. So that's another game mode we've been kind of dabbling with.
Yeah, nice. We're toying with a bunch of different power-ups also, because you can see, with the freeze bomb, you can have some strats around, locking down some cubes so only you can click them. But now if you imagine, to your point, like a 4v4, right, or you come in with the squad, somebody can come in and kind of stack up bazookas, and then someone else stacks up the freezing bombs, and you're locking things down and blowing them up. And so I think there's a lot of fun stuff that we can do here. And I think, this was always meant to be the jump off point for creators and IP into their ecosystems, right? We partner with Arbitrum, we partnered with, Ape and Triumph. The whole goal there is people earning their IP, earning those assets, and then going and exploring those ecosystems and spending time there, right? We want this to kind of, spread the know-how and the whereabouts of where everybody's at. So it's a fun little experience we got going on.
The next version of this obviously is people, and actually the Ape Chain spaces latched onto this, is like one of the beauties of Web3 is owning your assets. And so there's a point where you start to just like, using our AI tooling, create your own game, then run your own live ops, distribute it everywhere. And so like owning some of these assets and some of this like content, you can build an entire like high quality game around that Bored Ape that you own, or that, Triumph asset that you own. I think that's what's really interesting is like gaming in traditional sense Web2, it's all about like buying IP from the big brands. And in Web3, you actually like buy a chunk of the IP and own it yourself. Now, the missing piece is like, you don't know how to sell the IP of your asset. So the next part is like, what if I just go build my own game with my own assets? And I'm excited for that world to exist. And we're not far off on that. But I'm excited to see like what the first consumer created personal IP distributed through Twitter is, because I think that'll be like, I will bookmark that tweet forever. That's how I'll put it.
Yeah, no, it is exciting. It's going to evolve pretty quickly, I imagine.
And Corey, you guys were stingy. There's like no power-ups left in this world.
I know.
Really I think everyone works super hard.
I'm gonna lean back and just say, hey, it's math. I didn't do it myself.
It is
but,
math.
It is.
That is one thing that was harder this time. We had to create a lot of worlds with a lot of cubes. And so like when you start trying to be honest, maybe the hardest part of all of this is building the Python script that randomly distributed rewards everywhere, because we have to balance it between worlds and everything. Yeah, it was crazy. It came down to the wire.
Yeah, and I think those are definitely things that we will play with, right? Is like, these are only, I think right now we're only earning assets within Voxel or like power-ups, but the way that our identities work and the way that the rest of the platform works is we have a centralized inventory system. And so any game that partners with us or launches on Hyve is able to tap into that. So you can begin to put assets in Voxel that people can win, then can take and go play another game. So it acts as, again, kind of that stitching layer between it all. And so I don't think we're doing any other ones, Lucas. I can't remember.
We have some of our power-ups from BitByte and Dash and Stash, two of our other games. So they are in there, but ultimately, like, we can literally put anything on chain in here, and even some stuff that's not on chain in here, just inside the Hyve ecosystem.
I like how everybody went for the center.
One thing I think is worth let's watch this one. We'll see it get destroyed. And then I kind of want to show off my favorite part of the Hyve ecosystem on Twitter is not the single world. It's actually that we've basically built an app store inside of a Twitter post. And so once this one's destroyed, we should click over back to the tweet and we can show you kind of like what the app store looks like. I wonder what are we at on this one? 15 minutes?
10 minutes and like 45 seconds.
I think we're going to get the timing. We were saying 15 to 20, and I think that's what it'll basically be.
Yeah, and some of the cubes have different health levels. So some take 3 or 4 clicks, some take 1 click. So I'm not sure if this is configured in a way where the outer layer is a little bit easier to break, but
it is. They're a little, yeah. So based off the color is the difficulty. So obviously this outer layer is the most difficult.
Yeah.
I see. So people are just going into the middle.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It's really funny because it is a random distribution, and so it's like. But I think the human mind is like, oh, the center. I gotta dig in there.
One other thing that's really interesting to see is like the strategies that come. Like this is a really simple game. Like you don't really need to know anything. But when we tested it with Tempest Guild, there was one guy who only clicked gold cubes that had already been clicked. And he just started racking up points because he was just sniping everybody's like private. Yeah. So that's why we actually had to introduce the freeze bomb, is because like if you freeze the asset, only you can click it. But this guy racked up like the world's most absurd reward pool.
I see. Yeah, that's a clever exploit. That's clever. And yeah, you can see how like the power ups, like you could kind of configure it over time. Like if you want it to be a really quick game, you can maybe juice up the number of power-ups or things.
Yeah, we can. Everything here is like totally configurable. One thing I will say is like I bet this outside layer we probably should have made easier. I didn't realize how thick it was, and so it does look kind of funny that that's all that's remaining. But oh yeah, there's a gold cube right there.
Awesome. Well, it would be. You could also presumably it's not worth making it this sophisticated yet, but like you could try to weight the randomness, like the asset distribution or the power up distribution, so that like, I don't know, there's more of them in the harder to.
We actually did that. So the name Voxel World, I don't know if Lucas, you really told the origin story, but we were kind of looking around trying to think about how we can figure out like distribution tech. And we had one of our engineers that was like, had developed Unity games before, was really proficient on the back end stuff, and was like, I'm going to go jam on this real quick. And he basically went heads down. We didn't see him for a few days. And then he came back with like, hey, look, I got this thing. And he was calling it Voxel World because it literally looked like Earth, right? He had like water. And then as you got deeper, there were different layers, kind of like a Minecraft style thing where, iron and other types of like terrain cubes were deeper. And so he ended up writing an algorithm that was kind of like concentrating, making sure gold cubes were deeper in there. So it did have that like digging, it scratches that itch, but yeah, it's a good call out. There's a lot of little tweaks that you can play with.
Okay, and it's also like, Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, what was our time? 15 minutes? 12 minutes?
It was 13 and a half about.
Nice. Okay. So we were close. It's going a little faster than we expected, but that's good.
Yeah, no, that's definitely.
And actually, I'm going to double check.
You, Lucas, we finished that world. Everyone should jump in the next one. Hit return.
Oh, yeah, let me see.
Play again.
Let's see if I know what to click, if I'm capable of doing this.
Let me ping my colleague to get my screen back up here.
Here we go. So let's see if it'll queue this up. It says it's there. Do y'all see it?
I think we need help getting the screen back up. So I don't have permission either. I just tagged my colleague.
Yeah, I was going to say, whenever we do share it, you should go kind of walk through the platform and
that's what I was going to do. So
okay, cool.
This is actually Jack's screen, I believe, right?
Oh,
yeah, we can do it with you. Click that bottom left arrow on the green one, and then scroll. So this is like the Hyve App Store inside the Twitter feed. So like all these games are playable. One thing I will say is like we do not want to poke the Twitter bear. Any of the games that have ads like from third-party game platforms, we make it open a separate link just because like we're trying to be compliant here. But if you'll click like BitBuy, for instance, or actually, yeah, any of these games are totally playable inside the Twitter feed. And then you can see like the next bottom button on that bottom nav bar is leaderboards. And then we have the shop. So you can like transact and check out right here inside Twitter as well.
So leaderboards, we have the concept of tickets kind of at the top level. Yeah, this person is crushing it on their tickets here. That's their public profile. We're still kind of tweaking how things render in this little frame, but tickets is kind of like our ecosystem-wide thing that you can earn and redeem. And if you go back into once it pulls up, did we do it?
That was my fault, I think.
No,
I'm curious. Refresh your URL real quick. Just refresh the page.
Did y'all hug us to death?
It might have happened. Let's see what happened. No, it's still there. Oh, not for you though. It's working fine for me.
Interesting.
All right, here. Let me see if we can switch screens then.
This is interesting. See, this is the stuff we knew we were gonna see though. Like, let's see what happens next. Again, this has never existed. So
So if you go to that middle icon on the bottom, this is our shop that Lucas was mentioning. So I think one thing that's interesting to call out is, we're obviously partnered with you guys in Arbitrum, and so a lot of what we're doing is pushing for more open IAP opportunities, ways that you can monetize and engage your community without having to, go through the app stores and have to, pay those fees. And so what this is doing is a Web3 rail system powered by, by our backend, but it allows you to kind of surface these things directly in Thread, which I think is really, really cool.
Yeah, and then we have a friends section. Obviously, we'll add a lot more to this, but you can add friends here, connect with them. You can see like their public profiles, for instance. Like Corey said, we're still getting some of the UI to support this. And then you have your own profile here. So I have recovery enabled. You can find me here and add me here. I can't get them to give me tickets for free. It's embarrassing. Like I'm the CEO and they make me grind for my tickets like everybody else. But if you have those tickets, you can play some of our mini games on the Hyve GG site. So let me see this. And here's an example. So like we have some mini games that just exist that are purely ticket based. Oh, I've been playing this one too frequently. We also have our new slots game, so you can bet some tickets. Let's just risk it all here. See what we get.
Let me. What's your wallet address? Let me go.
Oh look, I got a big win, dude. Let's go. Today's a lucky day.
Wow,
this is not a common thing. So this is an ultra win. Did someone do this? I kind of feel like this is scripted, but it is not. I've never won this. Okay, so here is where that guy that has 600 tickets is getting them. My man's just lucky. He's got those ultra wins on stack.
Lucas, take a peek at the chat real quick, por favor.
Let me see. Okay, and then here's another game we have, BitBuy.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is one of our other games. Again, using our identities, injecting same sort of IAP from Voxel and all of those power ups. This is also networked, so you can play with users across all the different platforms.
Yeah, let's see if I can Let's see how here. I'll just type here real quick. But yeah, you can play with everybody. So this is also, of course, playable inside Twitter as well. So I can hop over here and just show it. But yeah, ultimately, like what we want to be is the, like I said, our gaming ecosystem, we want it to be everywhere, and we want everyone to be able to play it basically from any platform and any game. And then where we're going in the next couple of weeks is everyone will be a creator also. So you'll be able to play any of these games anywhere, and you'll also be able to create anything you want, technical or not technical, to build like the next best game with your custom either Web3 IP or the own art you draw yourself. So that's kind of the long-term vision.
Absolutely love it.
Let's see what we got going on here. Let's see how they're making progress on that.
Yeah, I'm gonna circle back with our engineers and see what world we're on.
I'm curious how easy what's like the actual process here for making this map? Is it as simple as chucking?
So that's a great question. So one thing we kind of realized is we built a tool. Let me actually see if I can pull it up for you. Corey, do you have the link to the tool?
I do, but it's not gated, so I'm hesitant to show
yeah,
the
URL. Yeah, that's a good point. So one thing we realized is like at some point we'll probably open this up to creators as well. We have this tool where you can literally just draw whatever you want, but you can also just take a picture, drop it in, and it'll render the world into voxels. So like anything, one of our engineers created a rubber duck world one time, and so like you can build anything here, really, really low effort, and anything you build inside the tool we have will render and play inside this game easily. So this Arbitrum logo could literally be anything. Man, they're making fast time on this one too.
Yeah, shout out to everyone from Arb and Ape Chain, Triumph. See the Tempest guys. I know there's some other guilds that we're working with, so super pumped to see everyone here. If you want to see what you're winning, you can use Arbiscan or ApeScan to kind of see what's in your Hyve wallet while you play. Everything is deposited directly into your Hyve wallet.
Oh, that's a great question. On that note, if you want to find your wallet, you can just come up here. Here's your wallet address, and you can go take it to any of the scans, check what you want.
Yep.
Another piece of advice for everybody is link a phone number, because if you link that phone number, you can reclaim that wallet on any platform or device. So you can have the exact same user instantiated across like every single different device you have. And it's super simple. It'll just text you a number and then log you back in. And then, you can kind of favorite some of your games you like and see them in your profile. But this is the most important thing. Connect an account, because if you don't connect an account and you lose that wallet for whatever reason, it's gone. Like that's Web3. So connect something so that you can reclaim it for sure. On that, I'm curious to see. Let's hop over there. Let's see. We've got a lot more games coming soon. We have some pretty big partnerships that we are papering right now that we'll be able to announce soon. So some major traditional studios, some larger Web3 studios, and maybe other side at this point. I'm going to follow up with that. They seemed interested.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty intriguing idea. One thing that I think that you guys did like very nicely for like the initial game is like obviously the clicking games have been blowing up in a big way. There's that banana game that went huge on Steam.
Yeah. Peel a banana. I love it.
Yeah. Like I don't hate a clicking game, but like I like a little bit more substance. I want to feel like I'm not literally just like mindlessly tapping. This has you're clicking. It's simple as that, but like there's a lot more strategy to it. Like there's an actual game being played, which I appreciate.
Yeah, that's actually where we went down that same kind of logic. So we're all kind of gamers ourselves, and we saw that trend that was happening. There's hamster combat, which adds another kind of meta layer on top of it, which is really, I think Lucas mentioned it, but that is kind of our bread and butter. We're creating a tool suite. This is just one of the games that went through our tool suite that we built, but we want to build a set of products and tools that allow any kind of individual creator all the way up to like enterprise type creators to generate, new games. And some of those could be clickers, but it's that meta layer and that live ops that, engage users and keep them coming back. And so, peeling a banana it's fun. And I can't believe it did so well. I can't remember the numbers on it, but
they were absurd. To be honest, it made me think like we should have built a banana peeling game.
Yeah, we'll do orange peeler, and it'll just be no, but yeah, we wanted a really simple mechanic that was easy to pick up. And then, obviously, the team had a lot of ideas around, spinning up new power-ups and adding a bit of that strategy to it, which is fun. And yeah, we're definitely concentrated on making those types of games engaging. We're not gonna build Call of Duty. It just doesn't really make sense. But what we will build are games that people can pick up on the bus. They can, kill some time. That escapism is the type of stuff that we're really, really interested in.
Yeah, I think that's. I will say, actually, there is a Twitter Spaces of me probably a year ago where I explained my pure hatred for clicker games because I come from the Zynga world. Like games are like pretty sophisticated, pretty deep. It's like you go pretty far with the casual, way farther than you think. What I will say is though, I was pretty anti-clicker game, and then our engineer brought this. And the thing that did it for me is like the power-ups, like being able to shoot a bazooka, or you can imagine eventually like an asteroid will come in. Like there's anything we can do. What it means is like, you're clicking, but also like you get that visual feedback that's different. And so that's the thing that I think makes it fun versus just like, tapping mindlessly, to your point. So yeah, I'm stoked about it.
Yeah, no, the power ups add a lot of depth. And like as more people play this thing, like there's a lot of room to create new types of power ups too, and like engage people, like different game modes or maybe like when you enter a match, you actually select like just 3 out of like 100 different possible power ups.
Yeah.
Like it's a lot of room for growth. It's awesome.
Yeah, and that's to your point about like the power-ups and building that strategy is like, yeah, having slots that you can equip. And I think that's where it's interesting for creators and working within their ecosystem is maybe you in the centralized inventory, maybe you have another game that, rewards bazookas. And so it incentivizes users to go into that other game, engage with that other content, earn rewards that can then bring you back into Voxel and you can utilize here, right? So it's like that cross-pollination that I think is super cool.
One of the things we talked about is a banana gun for Ape Chain. I think it'd be sweet that instead of peeling bananas, you're just like launching bananas at bricks. So I think that's another interesting one. But like that's the beauty of it, though. Once you have like the framework, it can be anything. Like any IP is interesting. Everything becomes cool. So I'm stoked to see where it goes.
Yeah, it's impressively like malleable starting point. It's cool.
Yeah, it's a great starting point. It's just the starting point, and we know that like there's a lot more for us to do, but I think ultimately this is like a really good step in the right direction. We were talking to somebody the other day, and he was like, so what plugin did you have to install to play that game in Twitter? And I was like, there's no plugin. And he was like, oh, okay, so y'all just like rendered Twitter around the game. And I was like, no, this is just inside Twitter. And he could not understand it. And I think that like, I think more of that will start happening the more experiences we create. Like to Corey's point, right now it's gaming. It could be all of crypto. It could be any consumer product. And so right now gaming's the focus, and that's like our core focus, but any partner could really bring any experience to life inside Twitter. So we're stoked to see it. Also, man, this one's coming out. They went through this one pretty quick.
Yeah, I think too, we're browser based. Like some of the challenges are distribution and shareability. And with this like soft launch, we didn't push hard on X. Obviously, this is our first time going live, but you can imagine the shareability. Jack, if I DM you or post this in my thread, you're just hopping in and playing, whether it's this or a shooter game or like some trivia game, right? Like you don't know Jack on a Friday night, like we're just playing in here. So I think the virality and shareability will just be awesome with it. And this is a different Twitter feed for us. It's just going to be full of games, right? Which will be something to see.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Yeah, no, it gets me really excited about the future of distribution for crypto.
One thing I think that's obviously we crushed that world. One thing to call out is every final cube does have a reward in it. So that is one note, is like we wanted to incentivize people to finish and go all the way through. So the last cube of every click does have something. I see this one might be stuck. This is where I think Corey's looking at this right now. But yeah, that's one thing I want to call out. It was awesome to share with you guys. Like, I think this was cool to just get to walk through it, and appreciate you helping us put together like this event with Arbitrum and Ape Chain and Triumph. Like, couldn't have done it without you guys. And I think the cool thing is like, this is the very beginning. Like, I'm excited to see what does, next try look like. What content can we bring? What games can we generate? What experiences can we like put into Twitter? And not just Twitter. Like, we want to show off Twitter here, but it's really generally everything. So every platform. So super excited to show this off today.
Yeah, I think just last note. So we got a few more worlds here to get through. And then tomorrow we're back at it 2 more times. So with the support of our partners, we still have more rewards to give out. So let me just pull up the times here so I don't misread it, because everything's UTC, EST, whatever time zone people are in. So tomorrow at 1 p.m. UTC, we're back at it again. And then tomorrow at 5 p.m. UTC, we're streaming with Storming and Tempest Guild. So shout out to them. I know a lot of them are in here right now. So we got more to go.
Amazing. Yeah, thank you guys for joining us. This was a huge treat. This is something I have looked forward to for many.
Yeah, now you got to go snag some rewards yourself.
Yeah, I didn't do too hot of a job. But yeah, no, I appreciate you guys joining us. We're pumped to have you on Arbitrum, and excited to see where things go from here. So if there's anything else that you want to share with the community while you have them, now's a good chance.
Yeah, I guess I would say is like definitely follow us on Twitter, Hyve_labs, and then we now have Play Hyve Games. And then another thing would be like, love any feedback from the experience or what you like, what you don't like about layout and how things are operating. And last but not least, with our creator platform coming out pretty soon, we are going to be looking for like early alpha testers to like build those games in AI and really test the system end to end, from game creation all the way into like deployment. And so like on Twitter. So I think pretty soon we'll probably do a sign up for that of people that like have interesting ideas or things they want to do. So stay tuned for that as well. And I guess last but not least, thank you guys for putting this on. This was awesome. It's cool to finally see it in the wild, because we've been toiling with this for like months, and it's nice to see it finally come out.
Yeah, it's amazing to see, to be honest. So kudos for getting it over the line.
Yeah. Also, one fun fact, I got to call out, Elon did tweet today that they're trying to build games and that they're looking at, like, Jack, you sent it to me. It's the craziest tweet ever. It's like he wrote the tweet and then he tweeted it. So I just think it's funny because it's clear every product is moving towards these like different experiences that extend session time and fun. And I'm just excited that we get to be hopefully a part of it, but more importantly, hopefully the backbone of it. So appreciate the time today, Jack. Absolutely, guys. Yeah, thank you for joining us. All right, take it easy. Corey, you're back just in time. We're out of here. Thanks for joining, everyone. See ya.
All right, thanks, everyone.